Mike Johnson found a pair of balls and a spine. Two or three things, I should say, that I didn't know the man had. Mike Johnson, well, as you can see by the headline, Speaker Mike Johnson warns Congress he may use constitutional authority to defund or disband federal courts. What? I didn't even know he could do that. Or Congress could do that. I don't know if it's a. I mean, he says, like, I don't know. We'll get into the article, but it's just like, I don't think that's a authority of the Speaker of the House. House Speaker cites historic power as legal battle against President Trump escalates. And this is why I decided to do this article, because shit's getting wild out there. A lot of the courts are trying to block not everything Trump's doing, but a lot of the federal courts, and state courts, but a lot of courts in general are trying to block Trump's immigration stuff, his deporting of illegals and things like that. I've covered it before. Yeah, shout out to Your News. Who wrote this? Oh, no single person is credited. Just Your News Media Newsroom. Okay, fair enough. House Speaker Mike Johnson issued a sharp warning on Tuesday, declaring that Congress has the constitutional authority to eliminate federal funding for federal courts, or even disband entire district courts in response to what he described as a coordinated judicial insurrection targeting President Donald J. Trump's administration. I really don't like the word insurrection anymore. The lefties kind of ruined it with the whole J6 thing. God, I should have went to that. I should have went. I was gonna go. I was going to go to stop the steal. Now, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but when we marched over to the Capitol building and we got there and we saw that the doors were open and they were, people were breaking in, or they were guiding people in. The Capitol Police were, all the nutty things that happened that day. I would not have gone inside. I've been like, no, thank you. This does not smell right. This does not smell right at all. But yeah, they kind of ruined the word insurrection. Anyway, quote, "We do have authority over federal courts, as you know," Johnson said in a live interview. "We can eliminate an entire district court. We have powered funding over the courts and all of the things. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and Congress is going to act. So stay tuned for that. We'll see." Now, the House of Representatives, I wonder, I'm not actually sure. I know we control the right wing, the Republicans control the House of Reps, but I'm not sure by a wide enough margin that they can make this happen without some Democrats. We'll see. The comment follows a wave of lawsuits and judicial rulings that have increasingly obstructed the Trump administration's policy agenda since President Trump returned to the White House on January 20th, 2025. Trump has already faced 137 legal challenges in less than 2 months, according to court tracking data. Of those, only 2 cases have been closed, far exceeding the 65 nationwide injunctions filed during Trump's first term from 2017 to 2021. Think about that. He only had to deal with this 65 times in 4 years, and he's already got 137 in, 2 months. Less than 2 months, it says. So yeah, whenever Mike Johnson says that this is coordinated, it definitely is. Conservative legal advocate Josh Hammer, a senior counsel with the Article 3 Project, described the legal opposition as more than typical judicial activism. Speaking on The War Room with Steve Bannon, Hammer labeled the campaign against Trump as an outright judicial insurrection. Again, don't love that word. Lefties kind of ruined it. Hammer's remarks echoed growing concerns among Trump allies that federal judges appointed during previous Democrat administrations are actively working to undermine the president's lawful authority. Many of the lawsuits challenge executive orders, personal appointments, and enforcement mechanisms put in place since January. Speaker Johnson's remarks appear to be the most serious congressional response yet to the legal escalation. His threat to use Congress's Article 1 powers to restrict funding or reorganize the judiciary comes amid frustration among Republican lawmakers over what they view as unchecked and politicized rulings. Quote, "It gets pretty ugly," one ABC News reporter noted when covering Johnson's comments. So far, the U.S. Supreme Court has taken no public steps to intervene in the litigation barrage, despite growing pressure from conservative legal circles to limit the reach of district court injunctions. Yeah, the quiet SCOTUS's quietness, the silence from SCOTUS has been deafening. Granted their ability to silence lower courts, it's probably not as cut and dry as they just can, stamp, put their foot down and the lower courts have to fall in line. But yeah, just like nobody, like Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, ACB, none of them have said anything, at least not that I know of. And they all owe their seats to the Donald, so come on, guys. Johnson did not name specific courts that could be targeted, but constitutional scholars acknowledge that Congress has the authority to regulate the jurisdiction and structure of lower federal courts. This includes creating or eliminating district courts and controlling the appropriation of federal funds used to operate the judiciary. With legal challenges mounting daily, Republican leaders are signaling that they may be prepared to exercise those powers unless the courts restrain what they see as partisan interference in the constitutional functioning of the executive branch. So yeah, hopefully, Speaker Johnson actually follows through on this. People are generally speaking not happy with him. The only reason why he's still Speaker of the House is because he was sort of like the lesser of two evils. So yeah, like hopefully, again, with now that the president is, has given him his endorsement, he's got the backing of Trump and JD Vance and all these things, and maybe he can find, like I said, find his spine and his balls and make something out of this. Hopefully. Because the Trump agenda, we voted for a certain agenda, and now, as the article itself said, activist judges are trying to stop that agenda from coming to pass. I mean, it didn't specify in the article, but a lot of it has to do with his, as I've covered before, a lot of courts are trying to stop him from deporting people, which I would say was one of, if not the number one issue that got him reelected, it was definitely top 5. But I think it was number 1, deporting illegals and closing the border and all these things. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This could all just be big talk, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. But yeah, let me know what you think. Comment down below and like the video and do all the algorithm stuff. And, follow all my links and subscribe to all my other channels. And, follow me on X. That whole thing. Come check out the game streams when I start doing those. Again, yeah, throw me a bone.